Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Winter King Storybook, The Legend Unfolds event. My name is Deborah, and I'm from Captured by Radiance, and today I have a very special treat for all of you. But before we get started, if you are participating in the event or for the event prizes, please review the rules of the event and make sure that you are registered for the event. All this information will be listed in the featured section in the Facebook group, and it'll also be down below in the description. It is my great honor, and I'm very excited to introduce to you the artist behind the Winter King Storybook series, Serena from Romance Art. Hey, Serena, how you doing?
Hi, Deborah. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing okay. So one of the things that I thought would be really good to do, we have received a lot of questions about the Winter King Storybook, and I thought that this would be a great opportunity to share all this information with our viewers today. So I'm going to be asking you a series of questions, and I'm really excited to find out what you say about them.
Let's go.
Okay. So the first question, what inspired the Winter King Storybook?
Well, the Winter King Storybook is, excuse me, a culmination of several different things, but mostly it comes back to my kids. I have 4 kids, and they range in age from my 15-year-old, who's Clara Jo. Some of you may know because she's in Diamond Art too, Diamond Art Design. She's 15, and then my oldest son is 30. So we've got a wide range of ages, and they've always kept me interested in new things, and always new things coming up. But one thing that they all had in common is they were very into animals. In fact, my oldest son, he would watch an animal show before he watched cartoons, even when he was little. And there were always animal factoids going on, back and forth. And in fact, I think he was in 3rd grade when my oldest son corrected his science textbook, and he was right and it was wrong. So we always had that kind of stuff going on. They were always into animals. And then they started reading. When they got into reading, they were like reading the Redwall series, and where the animals are the primary characters. And then add on top of that, when they got older, that we were all kind of into medieval stuff. All 3 of my sons are into archery and things like that. So I kind of just put all of that into my thinking when I started doing the Winter King images. And the fact that I titled it Storybook just came from all of that, like all of their interest in those things and everything. So yeah, it really came from a lot from them.
That's really interesting. I have to say, I used to be a dog breeder, and my kennel name was Medieval Times. I love the medieval time types, series and things that come out with that. I find it very intriguing. It's something that really grabs me when I watch something, anything, read a book, anything that has to do with it. But what I find interesting with the Winter King is that each character is unique in its own way. Mm-hmm. And when you put that narrative with the character, it kind of gives you a bit of a story, which comes to my next question. This is the highest asked question in our CBR group, as well as I get them from Messenger, from email. People want to know, is there a book behind the Winter King Storybook series? And if not, is there a book in the making? And when do you anticipate it might come out?
I'm going to answer that kind of backward, because I have to say, honestly, I have absolutely no idea when it's going to come out. But it is in the making.
Yay!
Yeah, it was. I've never written a book before. I've considered it given, especially with all my kids and all their interest in that kind of thing. Um, but I was always busy, 4 kids growing up, all that stuff. I never tried to do it. Um, and now with the Winter King response that we've gotten, and the more I was thinking about these characters and everything, the more people ask, is there a book? I had to agree, there needs to be a book.
Yes.
And so I am in the process of writing that, putting that together. It's going a little slow because, like I said, I've never done it before, but I'm pretty happy with what we've got so far. And as I said, I cannot say when it will be like done and like available. But I am thinking that maybe during the event we might get a little glimpse into some of it.
Oh,
And
yes.
um, so yeah, the bottom line answer, no, there isn't a book. Yes, there will be a book, and I have no idea when it'll come out.
Well, you guys all heard it today. There is a book in the making. So that is really exciting. And I know it's a lot of work, especially with putting images together as well. I can say to everyone that I've seen a lot of the Winter King storybook images, and each image, like I said, are so unique, and yet you just fall in love with those characters. What CBR and Dreamers Designs, you've got the diamond painting shop and the one with the diamond art. What you're seeing right now isn't even scratching the surface of what is to come. And so I'm so excited not only about that, we're going to be doing the Winter King Storybook event annually. So this is just the beginning of what's to come. And I'm so excited about the book as well. So my next question kind of talks a little bit about what I just brought up, and that is, can you talk about and share with all of us how many kingdoms are in the series? Oh,
Yeah.
and how do you separate them? How do you know the difference between one kingdom to the other?
Okay. Yeah, there are actually 4 kingdoms in the story. Winter, of course, everybody knows about, Equinox, Solaris, and Verdant. And the way that you will tell them apart is they each have their own color scheme and overall aesthetic. They're a little different. They all fit together. Like all of the other 3 kingdoms will be part of the storybook, but they're going to look different, a little different. So, for instance, Equinox, the color scheme is kind of like English garden type, jewel
Okay.
tones, um, uh, purples and blues and greens, and you know, um, like like I said, jewel tones that you would kind of expect. Verdant is greens and pinks and burgundy and roses, and in fact, Verilith on the screen is a verdant character. And then Solaris is probably the one that's a little further out of the box. It's the brightest one. It's going to be bright yellows, bright purples, teals, and greens, and golds. And yeah,
Wow.
so I've actually been working on some Solaris this week. And yeah, I think as far as the overall colors, I think Solaris is maybe going to be my favorite, but I don't know. Winter's got a pretty, strong pull for me. So
When you're talking about Solaris, all I can think of is metallics. 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 Well, I'm doing Verilith during the event. And one of the reasons I think that pulls me into wanting to do Verilith is the colors. I love the greens and the golds and the burgundies. The oranges, they all blend in so nicely. And with Verilith, we have metallic drills in that kit. So
Mhm.
it's really been fun to work with the metallics on top of the dust drills that come, or the unicorn poop that come with the kit. But, it's really difficult. And I'm just being honest. It is really, really difficult to decide which canvas you're going to do. And for me, it's because each canvas has its own unique personality as far as I'm concerned. And it was difficult to pick out what I should do, which leads me to my next question. Which character in the Winter King Storybook series is your favorite?
Oh man. Well, that's like asking me which of my 4 kids is my favorite. But I actually do have an answer for that. I tell them all the time, when my middle son, Ethan, is convinced that he's the favorite. But I always tell them, I love you all the same, but my like you meter can go up and down.
Yes, yes.
It varies from day to day. But with the Winter King, there's so many characters that I love, and I'm getting to know them more as I write the book. But I have to say that the True Heart, which everybody thinks they know, they thinks they know, and then there's Stormheart, Shieldheart, and Emberheart. And those are my favorites because they're based on my children's personalities.
Aww.
So, I have to choose those.
Those, that really makes me wonder a little bit more about the narratives behind each character. So when you do the narratives for these characters, are you kind of reflecting on your children when you think about that?
Yeah, I'm sure this is true with all mothers, but my children are very much alike, but also very different.
Yeah.
And they're the best people I know. So, just they have influenced this thing from the very beginning. And so, yeah, their personalities will come through. But I did warn them in advance. I said, these characters are based on your personality. That doesn't mean that everything the character does is what I would expect you to do in that situation. So don't take it too far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think about the way, like, for instance, my older son, he would be like what Shieldheart would be him. And it comes from his protective nature and his ability to lead and all of those things. So yeah, I think about them. And if you go back and look at some of the descriptions for the Diamond Art, there's a few little clues in there about some of the story. So we try to include some of that, but not give away too much too. And also not try to lock me into something that I might want to change if the story changes.
Exactly. Which makes sense, because then that way you have that ability to go back and say, okay, wait a minute, I want to change this a little bit. That's, I think, a great idea. With the Winter King Storybook, I am really honored to have the opportunity to offer these amazing images in diamond paintings. It has just really taken off the popularity, or that's not the word I want, just the overwhelming response.
Yeah, that has been amazing. And I really credit you and Tamara, you ladies at Captured by Radiance, with that, because I knew that it was something special, but I had no idea that it would be welcomed and accepted the way it has. And the eagerness that people have to get more of it, to hear more of it, to see more characters, it just really has taken on a life of its own. And I'm just trying to keep up with the momentum that you guys have all created with it. And so, yeah, it's really been special, and I'm really grateful to you guys and the other diamond art companies that have helped me with it, but especially the audience too. The people that are asking these questions, and put the idea of the storybook out there and all those things. It's really been amazing.
Yes, and I always tell everyone, we could ask Serena about all of this stuff, but I can't guarantee that there's going to be an answer that you want. It's just all going to depend on, well, like I said, it's the book itself is a lot of time. And then you've got to work with somebody to get that out, right? And then on top of that, you have your artwork that you're working on as well. So it's really kind of a tug of war. One side's doing this, the other side's doing this, and we're all going, wait a minute, we want this, we want this.
Exactly. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, that is definitely true. Like you're talking about which canvas to choose to work on. I had Thorn Whisper all kitted up, and I had started on it, and then I saw the unboxing for Virulith and the gorgeous special drills in that, and I was like, okay, I at least have to open this up and look at it. So I ended up kitting it up as well. But I'm like, I think I've gotten like one row of Thorn Whisper done, and that's it. Because it's like, it's the time it takes to do the images and then work on the book and things like that is quite a bit. But it's fun. It's the best job I've ever had. I'm enjoying it to no end. So,
well, the one thing I love about your artwork is how bright and vibrant the colors are. And for me, I suffer from SAD, which is a seasonal depression disorder. Couldn't think of it. And for me, when you're working on a canvas that has bright, vibrant colors, it just makes you happy. Like I see one of, like to give an example, I have been working on Dune Runners, and the colors, the bright, vibrant colors that come out of Dune Runners, and it just makes me happy. And I just and I keep going on. But we have a lot more of Serena's beautiful artwork outside of the Winter King storybook that are going to be it'll blow you away, these pieces. And I'm really excited. They are in charting right now. So we're like, yes, hurry, go. I know that they're probably going, what is wrong with that woman? But the really nice thing about, and one of the things that we wanted to do before we started the Winter King Storybook event was to make sure that we had enough characters. And it took us a little bit of time to get the characters that we have charted here and ready to go. We do have restocks that are coming in. Now, technically, they should have been here 10 days ago. Unfortunately, they are still in U.S. Customs. I'm like, seriously, guys, you've had them for 10 days now. Let's go. But unfortunately, we have no control over customs.
And you're not the only ones. You're not the only ones feeling that. I'm seeing that kind of across the board, that there are delays in shipping things. So
it's not just crazy. It's just, well, anyway. I just wanted to bring that up for those of you that are waiting for those canvases. We're very sorry, but yeah, U.S. Customs, we can't, there's nothing we can do. Even if we tried to call them, they would probably just go, whatever.
Nice.
But we have I think 6 more of the Winter King storybooks that are in charting right now. Well, 4 of them are not. They're out of charting, but 2 of them are in charting right now. So we're really excited about that as well. And it's just being able to enjoy and share our passion for this series, because like I said, there's a lot more to this besides just the images. You have this narrative, you've got the story behind it eventually coming out. So that's really exciting about the whole entire series. And I do want to mention, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, if anybody wants to see like all the characters together, you can go on my website, romanceart.com, and at the top, click on more, and it'll drop down a menu, and you click on the Winter King Storybook, and you can see all of them there, and as well as the new one that only you and Tamara have seen so far. That one's on there.
Yeah. Is it? Oh. So guys, check it out if you want to see it. If you haven't seen it before, you'll know what's coming in. That's another thing I wanted to bring up is your website. So for those of you that haven't checked out Romance Art's website, check it out, because you can see a lot of beautiful artwork. Not only that, she's got a lot of different series of things that are out there. So and CBR is going to actually showcase one of them pretty soon. We're looking at probably about 2 weeks, or no, yeah, 2 weeks. That one will be released, and I believe that is Guardian of the Green, and it's Matilda, Matilda. So we're really excited about that one. But yes, please check out romanceart.com, correct?
Yes.
And
it is and make sure you spell it right. It's ROMANTZ.
Yes.
Because my last name is Mantz, MANTZ. So that's how the name came about. But make sure you spell it right so you get to the right spot.
Now, I have one more question for you. How long do you think it takes you to actually design a character?
Oh, man. Wow. That's a good question. It really depends on, like, the Winter King series is pretty labor intensive. It's because of it's so detailed.
Yes.
And right up front, and I've talked about this on my Facebook page and everything, I do use AI to help speed things up. But then I think the character that just dropped, I spent 4.5 hours just in one program on him. And then, each image goes through about 5 different programs and uploads back and forth to just to get it to the aesthetic that we all like, and look and expect with it. So I'd say it's really hard to tell, to put a definitive answer on that, because for one, because it is so character driven, then I am constantly kind of changing. Like I'll pick one image and I'm like, okay, this is Kadron. This Kadron was the hardest one. I'm like, okay, this is Kadron. But then I was like, I'm not sure that's Kadron, and I had to go through, a couple different phases of that to really land on the one that I wanted, and the look that I wanted. So it's really hard to put a definitive answer on that, because it's like it's always going.
Right.
I'm always thinking about it. But as far as handwork on every image, like I said, in one program, Procreate, on my iPad with my pencil in hand, I'm usually between 4 and 6 hours in that one program. And,
Wow.
That doesn't count all the other programs.
Right. Wow. And, I know that it takes a lot of time to go back and forth and to readjust. The really nice thing is that you're able to change things as the stages go on. And I kind of giggle when people will say to me, oh, that's got to be a romance art. They can always tell if it's a romance art. And I think, well, you know what? We've gotten to the point now in the community that we can actually see, even in other series, that it is related to your artwork. So it's amazing. So, and you know what? One of the things that me and my sister always talk about is, again, the bright, vibrant colors, how it makes us feel. It just makes us feel happy, joy, with all those beautiful colors that you incorporate into your images. All right, so we are now out of time. So with that being said, guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please let us know if you have any questions. Don't forget, there are other premieres that are following after myself. And with that, take care of yourself and say goodbye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.